What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I wanted to make a video today talking to you about why I actually now, after doing some more digging, would buy a Ford Ranger over the new Maverick. Now, I still love the Maverick. I think it's a phenomenal truck option for so many people, but I was very surprised when I built, using the build and price tool on Ford's website, when I had built a Ford Ranger, I was actually really surprised at how close in price a Maverick can be set up one way to a Ford Ranger. And I just want to share that with you today because I'm curious if there are other people that have noticed the same thing. I just want to be real transparent here about these vehicles not being exactly spec'd the same, but it's an instance where maybe if you view things like myself, you actually come out ahead going with a lesser optioned Ford Ranger, especially if you're someone that does not need four-wheel drive. The big thing about the Maverick that I noticed right away was the absence of an STX package. Now, I could go on all day about all this stuff. I don't want to confuse people, but the STX used to be a trim, then it was a package, and then now it's back to being a package again. And so what it does is you add it to the XL trim and it gives you some really nice features, usually some increased interior amenities. It gives you like a little nicer seat, nicer wheels, oftentimes in the F-150 and Super Duties, like nicer grills, a little bit better appearance and overall better value all around. The XL over time has become a much less base model vehicle, but it still doesn't have a lot of stuff compared to an XLT and especially a Lariat. But the STX package on most of Ford's vehicles where it's offered really does provide an excellent value, and especially on the F-150s, there are a lot of them out there because you get a lot of nice features without going into XLT territory, and obviously the Lariats are so much more expensive. So I didn't see that offered on the Maverick, so it forced me to go to an XLT to get basic things like cruise control and a little bit nicer interior. But I'm not a luxury truck guy. My F-150, my 2004, was a custom ordered truck by the original owner. I am the second owner, and I have the window sticker, and it was a loaded XLT at the time. That today is really equivalent to what an STX XL would be. Something that has power options, a little bit nicer interior, but it's pretty simple, and that's exactly how I like my vehicles. I'm very low maintenance. I'd rather have a nice engine and powertrain and some exterior stuff than loaded stuff everywhere. It's just not me. I don't like it, but that's again my preference. So the Ford Ranger that I decided to build was a Super Crew. It was two-wheel drive, and I opted for the E-Locker. Now, the E-Locker locks the rear wheels with the push of a button. It's kind of like a limited slip in a sense, but it's electronically controlled. On the Maverick, when I had built that, I had opted for all-wheel drive because of the situations I'll be in, like camping, wet grass, situations like that where you'd get stuck most likely in front-wheel drive. I wanted the traction. Since the Ranger offers a locking differential, I don't need four-wheel drive. I'll just get the locker. I don't want four-wheel drive, so that's already a plus in my book. It's less moving parts and a simpler setup mechanically for the drivetrain. Now, the Super Crew is going to be very similar to the Maverick. The Maverick does offer a little bit more interior room in the second row, but for me, that's really not a big deal. The Ranger offers more power. I was able to set it up with the XL, the STX package. I think I added the spray-in bed liner and a couple of very small options. And that truck came to $33,900. Now the Maverick with all-wheel drive, the upgraded EcoBoost, the 4,000-pound towing capacity, the spray-in bed liner, and I think I did paint protection film, it came to $31,000. So there's a $3,000 difference between the way I built each of those vehicles. Now, again, I understand they are not 100% exactly spec'd the same, but this is a situation where the Ranger actually fits my desires and needs better than the Maverick. I'm able to get much more capability because, guys, the Ranger is a body-on-frame, meaning it's a cab and a bed bolted to a ladder frame versus the unibody construction of the Maverick, which is going to be fine for a lot of people. But if you want to tow a little bit more weight, a little bit more payload, and a little bit more capability in general, you really do need to start looking at something like a Ranger. And I was pleasantly surprised to see that the difference between the way I built both vehicles was only $3,000. So I wanted to share this because while again it's not necessarily an apples to apples comparison, the Ranger lets me get by with less, and that's exactly what I am looking for. If I was buying a new F-150, I would be buying an XL with an STX package. So the Ranger is no different. It gives me a lot of the nicer interior options. You automatically by law get a backup camera. They now offer the Ranger with the 8-inch center stack screen, and it has dual climate control available as well, which again I don't care about, but that is kind of neat that it's offered on an STX. So my point is, if you can opt for a two-wheel drive version of the Ranger, you're going to be not too far off of an all-wheel drive version of the Maverick if you're looking for something with a locker. You start building the trims different ways too far, like Lariats and XLs and XLTs, they're not going to be anywhere near each other. But my point is depending on what you're looking for interior amenities and capabilities, I was really surprised that they were that close in price, and that would steer me towards the Ranger. So let me know, guys, if you've considered either of these trucks. Why would you pick one over the other? I know for me, like I said, the capability for a little bit more, it's a no-brainer for me at this point to look at a Ranger when that time comes. And Ford's going to be redesigning it in the next year or two, so I'll be very curious to see what they end up doing with that. I have a feeling it's going to have that traditional C-clamp grille that they've been doing on a lot of their models. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you found this helpful. Always love the discussions we've been having lately on a lot of these videos, and we'll talk to you in the next one. Take care.